Wait, did you hear that? That chant for Palestinian freedom is being criminalized by some European governments. Police in Austria banned a demonstration because they said the chant is incitement to violence. The UK's Interior Minister even said that it's a call for the destruction of Israel. And in 2018, Mark Lamont Hill was fired by CNN because he dared to say this at the UN.
A free Palestine, from the river to the sea.
So what does freedom from the river to the sea actually mean? And do these people really want to wipe Israelis off the map? Okay, first, let's break down the chant.
Okay, let me just tell you, a lot of them are idiots who have no idea what they're chanting. So not all of them. What a dishonest take. The chant is referring to the destruction of Israel, from the Mediterranean Sea to the Jordanian River. Just a lot of those protests don't even know which river and which sea is being referred to. So no, not everybody who makes that chant, it wants to destroy Israel. But that's what that chant means. Free Palestine, including all the parts that is Israel. Like, I don't know what you're going to say. Okay, look at your map. Look at Mediterranean Sea and the river. Do you see that there's Israel there? Do you see that includes the nation state of Israel that has been recognized as a nation state by United Nations? So do you see how that includes that part? So yeah, it geographically it means to wipe out Israel, one, but also here's another thing how we know it means wiping out Israel, because the main people who have made this into a chant, okay, they have said so. They have said so. That's how we know. But let's see what he has to say. I actually have no idea what this guy is going to say. I haven't watched this yet.
The river they're talking about is this, the River Jordan. And the sea, that's the Mediterranean. In between those two bodies of water, 7 million Palestinians live under Israeli rule. The whole of that land used to be historic Palestine.
And includes Israel too. Are you going to mention that includes Israel as well?
The whole of that land used to be historic Palestine, and now all of that territory is controlled by Israel.
So you want all of? Okay, so wait, he's confirming. So he said all of this used to be historic Palestine. So you want it to go back to that, to what you're saying? Wait, you are actually confirming that this is genocidal.
Actually, we get some unexpected help explaining this from former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, who said this in 2010.
As long as in this territory west of the Jordan River, there is only one political entity called Israel, it is going to be either non-Jewish or non-democratic. If this block of millions of Palestinians cannot vote, that will be an apartheid state.
There are around 3 million...
Okay, so as long as in this territory west of the Jordan River, there is only one political entity called Israel, it's going to be either non-Jewish or non-democratic. Okay, so this is why we want a two-state solution, right? We want Palestine to be a nation state and Israel to be a nation state. And the two-state solution will eventually, if Hamas lets us, will give Palestinians a nation state where they can vote and choose their politicians democratically. If the Palestinians will stop fighting Israel, maybe they will have that nation state so that they could have that democracy at some point, right? But again, how does this not show from the river to the sea? Okay, so maybe say from the river to something else. Don't go all the way to the sea, you moron. So how does this negate the fact that the chant from the river to the sea is genocidal and asking for wiping out? Are you just trying to distract us? Because this doesn't negate the fact that the from the river to the sea chant is genocidal.
Either non-Jewish or non-democratic. If this block of millions of Palestinians cannot vote, that will be an apartheid state.
Yeah, okay, so free these Palestinians from Hamas so that they could have a nation state, okay?
There are around 3 million Palestinians living in the West Bank and around 2.3 million in the Gaza Strip. In both of those areas, Palestinians can't vote in the state that rules their lives.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because they keep fighting Israel and because they elect Hamas, right? So yeah, they're not free. They should be free. Maybe some people should stop encouraging them to fight. But again, none of this negates the fact that the chant from the river to the sea is genocidal. I mean, I think guys, this is a strategy that some people use. They say like people say A, but A is wrong. And they're like, oh, why is A wrong? And they hear like, well, point 1, point 2, point 3, and point 4, and also point 5. And you're like, these are interesting points. Point 1 to 5 are true, right? And then when you're listening to these points, you're like, these are true points. But then you fail to remember that points 1 to 5 does not actually negate A. Even if they're true, they still don't negate A. Just because you've just been given a list of points and they seem to be true, you might think like, oh, this guy made some valid points, so A is wrong. But these points had nothing to do with the correctness or falsehood of A. Do you see what I'm saying? Is this a form of gish galloping?
In both of those areas, Palestinians can't vote in the state that rules their lives. Israel rules over them under a military occupation. That means the Israeli army controls almost every aspect of their lives, banning them from accessing their land forcibly.
You idiot. Okay, which you're talking about the West Bank, right?
That means the Israeli army...
Okay, you should be thanking the Israeli army, okay? You guys don't have a nation state in the West Bank, okay? And these areas have been used to attack Israel, right? So look at what. Listen to this.
1.3 million in the Gaza Strip. In both of those areas, Palestinians can't vote in the state that rules their lives. Israel rules over them under a military occupation. That means...
Yeah, the reason why they cannot vote, the reason why being ruled is because you never managed to form your own nation state, because you were in a constant war with Israel, because you failed to accept Palestine, because accepting your own nation state as Palestine will require you to accept Israel as a nation state. So it's you that never accepted a nation state for yourself. This is the reason why you're in this situation.
The Israeli army controls...
And Hamas, guys, I'm not making this up. Even Hamas says it to this very day. They don't accept a two-state solution. That's why you don't have a nation state.
Almost every aspect of their lives, banning them from accessing their land, forcibly evicting them from their homes, telling them when and where they can travel. Sometimes they're not even allowed to visit a neighboring town. And there are around...
Yeah, this is an area with a whole bunch of terrorist activity. And given that it doesn't have its own governing body that is able to govern it and provide security, the neighboring nation state that has all of these terrorist attacks coming from it to its own nation state has the responsibility to provide security and safety in that area and to defend its citizens against attacks from it. What did you expect? They don't have, given that they never became a nation state, they don't have enough military capabilities or a policing force to provide security themselves. I mean, you should be thanking Israel that is using its tax dollars to provide any level of safety and security that you have. If you don't like the way it's being done, maybe you shouldn't have started a war with Israel and just accepted the Palestine country that the United Nations gave to you from the beginning. And many other times that option was offered to you again, and every time you ignored it, every time you said no.
Around another 1.6 million Palestinians living in what is now Israel. Although many of them have Israeli passports and they can vote, they don't have equal rights. Palestinians living in Gaza, the West Bank...
What? What the... Are you serious? Okay, so we talked about Palestinians in West Bank, okay? And we're like, oh, they have to go through checkpoints, they don't have freedom of mobility, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, and that's again whose fault? Whose fault is that? That was the Palestinians' fault. And now we're going to this. There's three bodies of Arabs that we're talking about. The Arabs in the West Bank, the Arabs in Gaza, and the Arabs that are citizens of Israel. Okay, you have to be out of your mind to complain about the Arabs that are citizens of Israel, because they are in the best situation that they could be compared, not just to Arabs in the West Bank and Gaza, but compared to Arabs as a whole. In general, when it comes to rights and freedoms, the Arabs of Israel enjoy more rights and freedoms than any other Arab living in any Arab country or Islamic country in the freaking world. Unless we're talking about Arabs that live in liberal countries. But no Arab enjoys the level of safety, security, rights, and freedoms as in Arab countries compared to Arabs that live in Israel. So what is your complaint against? Listen to this again.
1.6 million Palestinians living in what is now Israel. Although
okay, they're not Palestinians. Okay, I don't know why people still call them Palestinians. They're Israelis. They're Israeli citizens. Okay, stop calling them. Maybe they are, come from Palestinian. Maybe their origins are Palestinian, but they're Israeli citizens now. Okay,
allowed to visit a neighboring town, and there
So
are
that's-
around another 1.6 million Palestinians living in what is now Israel. Although many of them have Israeli passports and they can vote, they don't have equal rights. Palestinians living in Gaza, the
That's it. They don't have equal. What? He said they don't have equal rights. They do. Are you going to explain that? That was a falsehood. That was a lie. That was a lie. And now you move to the third part, the Palestinians in Gaza. He just said they don't have equal rights. I thought you were going to explain, because I was under the assumption, after looking at it for freaking years and going to Israel and talking to them, that they actually do enjoy equal rights. Actually, I take that back. He's right. They don't enjoy equal rights. They enjoy more freedoms than the average Israeli. Is that what you're complaining about? Guys, the Arabs of Israel, Arab citizens of Israel, not only they enjoy equal rights and freedoms compared to Jewish Israeli, they actually have more freedoms than Jewish Israelis under the law. And it's actually unfair. It's unfair to the Jews. they are, if there's two-class citizenship in Israel, if there is a two-class citizenship, Arabs are higher, because Arabs don't have to serve in the military and the Jews do. The Arabs have more rights and freedom than the Jewish Israelis. What is this man talking about? I like how he just throws. This is the most dishonest take I've ever seen, because anybody who has looked into this for 5 minutes can tell that Arabs, that's the part that I can't complain about. I can maybe confuse people and compare about the West Bank. I could definitely confuse people and complain about Gaza, because the people there have the worst situation. But as soon as I look at the Arabs who live in Israel, I'm like, oh, no, I shouldn't even talk about this. This does not work for my propaganda, because these people are being treated like actual citizens of the nation state of Israel. I should never even mention this. This really goes against my propaganda, against my lies. But imagine the audacity, because usually other haters of Israel, they don't even mention the Arab Israelis, because that doesn't work. But this guy goes one step beyond. Instead of ignoring it, he just mentions it, and he says they don't enjoy equal rights. The obvious lie. This is a crazy lie. And he just moves on as if he didn't say a lie. Look how easy it is to spread nonsense, to spread lies. He's just like, oh, they don't enjoy equal rights. Moving on. Hold on. Where are you going? Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? Holy crap, that was such a dishonest take. Explain that. Why are you talking about Gaza now? You just show something that we know that is a lie, and you just move on as if everybody has to just accept that? Look at this dishonesty here. Listen to this again. So we moved from West Bank. Now we're going to the Arabs of Israel.
And there are around another 1.6 million Palestinians living in what is now Israel. Although many of them have Israeli passports and they can vote, they don't have equal rights. Palestinians.
That's it? That's a lie. That's a lie. How could you say this? How could you sleep with yourself at night just saying lies like that? They do enjoy equal rights. They enjoy more rights. Unbelievable. How is this getting spread so widely everywhere? How many views did this get? This was AJ Plus. This is from TikTok channel AJ Plus. How many views? I can't tell how many views it got, but it got a 250,000 likes. So I'm assuming it got close to 1 million views based on how many likes it got. Unbelievable.
Palestinians living in Gaza, the West Bank, and Israel all live under a system of apartheid.
How could the Palestinians in Gaza be living under apartheid? I mean, you're right. Actually, I agree with you, but let me tell, not in the way you think. Hold on, listen to this.
They don't have equal rights. Palestinians living in Gaza, the West Bank, and Israel all live under a system of apartheid, according to Israeli and international human rights organizations.
That's bullcrap. This is nonsense. This is nonsense, okay? We have three parts: Gaza, West Bank, and Israel, right? The Arabs living in Israel do not live under apartheid. They are equal citizens. They're equal citizens. Apartheid required for you to have two-tier citizenship. How could you have two? Maybe they're living under apartheid. The Jews of Israel are living under apartheid because they have to serve in the military and the Arabs don't, okay? Yes, apartheid against Jews in Israel. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay? So no, I don't think that's what you mean. But and I'm joking. That doesn't make it apartheid. But that's not apartheid. So now let's look at we know Arabs living in Israel are not apartheid, okay? Because they are equal citizens. So let's look at the argument for apartheid in Gaza and West Bank. What is apartheid? Apartheid means two-tier citizenship. Guys, I ask you a question. For you to be a second-class citizen, apartheid is like, oh, you have citizens of a country, and we have first-class citizens, and we have second-class citizens. That's what makes you apartheid, okay? For you, so we need to be able to identify second-class citizens to be able to, like, oh yeah, we have apartheid here. We have second-class citizens. But what is the first condition for you to be a second-class citizen? What do you have to be first before you could be a second-class citizen? I give you a hint. It's in the when I say second-class citizen, it's hidden in there. A citizen. Exactly, Angry Keyboard Warrior. How could you be a second-class citizen of Israel when you are not a citizen